It is New Music Friday, which means it is time for Bop or Flop. We have new releases from Lola Young, Laufey, Kesha, and an artist who I don't usually like to mention by name, but he has collaborated with somebody, so we have to talk about it. Unfortunately, that is all in today's episode of the Pop Pod. I am Sam, also known as Pop Sam Cam, and joining me, as always now, it has to happen every Friday, is Jono for Bop or Flop. How are you?
It has to happen every Friday now. Not that you want it to happen, is that right?
I feel forced. I feel like my hand has been forced into doing this all the time because you've had a few positive comments. And it's gone to your head. You've got a new background. You look like you're on a bloody film set. How much of the budget have you used on making yourself look good?
Sam, this isn't gone to my head. This is because my partner said I looked absolutely disgusting. I need to change it. I was going to be single if I had the other background any longer. So, happy wife, happy life.
Well, the lighting's great. The background looks good. I feel like it's turning a new page for Bop or Flop this week. Before we do it, though, we should go through a few of the news headlines. I feel like it's been such a massive week for news. You weren't here yesterday, but there was the new Jade album announcement. There was like Addison Rae dropping a trailer for her album, which I almost forgot is coming. There was so much going on. And now today, again, there's a lot going on because Lorde has finally given us some details about what to expect from this album. And I kind of expected it to be tough. I think that we've talked about this, but I wasn't so much expecting words like feral to be used, which is the kind of way that she's described it. On Rolling Stone, she did a big profile for them and talked about everything. And to be honest, I love the way that she set up this album. She's like talked about how she kind of saw herself as like a good girl and kind of taking the moral high road and trying to make herself sound intelligent. I know like she is intelligent, but using big words to like really promote that intelligence. And also the whole way she like threw her phone in the water during the solar power era and was like, I'm going off the grid. Well, she's done a whole 180 for this era because she's smoking. The phone's back. She's like totally embraced this idea that she is not perfect. And like, it sounds like quite a rush and it's giving her most like, I guess she's described the album, if it had a color, as being clear and transparent and just like totally no barrier between her and like, I guess life. It sounds like she's living, which is like the best mode to get an album from her. And one more thing, she also said that she let her body like lead the way with this album. Like it wasn't so much head first, it was body first. And I feel like it's going to be a very physical album, which I'm excited. Like all this is like ticking all the boxes for me. Is it for you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, feral is what a way to describe an album. But also even, when she said, kind of what she said on the red carpet, like last week, where she was like, oh, like, like what she was wearing and the gender of it and stuff. And then she just was like, oh, I was talking shit. And I was like, that's actually so refreshing to hear her be like,
it is refreshing.
Sorry. Like I was actually just talking absolute rubbish. And then says in this like interview, like this is actually kind of what the album's about. So like, I feel like she's feeling more comfortable being herself, like making a mistake or saying misspeaking and then just being like, oh, that was totally crap. So I am so excited. We got tickets to the gig, which our loyal listeners will know. Yeah, last week I was worried about it and I didn't try because I was too busy at work, and then my friends got them for me and I was like, I'm so thankful to have
That's amazing because the ticket queue was insane. Which is crazy because the last time she did arenas was on the Melodrama tour, and apparently like there were stories at the time that she was performing to like 30% full arenas. So to have this like turnaround after a flop era that Solar Power was meant to be is like pretty cool. Like the Lorde fever it's here.
The Lorde feral fever is here.
The Lorde feral fever. Someone commented on my video and was like, feral summer. And I was like, you know what? Sign me the fuck up.
Oh, that's terrible.
Feral summer incoming. And I think when you think feral, you probably think of the beautiful, very constrained tones of Laufey. I think I'm saying that correctly. She has announced her new album, A Matter of Time, which will be out on the 22nd of August. It's produced by Spencer Stewart, who she regularly works with, and also Aaron Dessner. Obviously got like a big boost production-wise by working with Taylor Swift on Folklore and Evermore, and has also worked on a lot of the Gracie Abrams stuff as well, and is kind of now challenging Jack as the go-to like pop girl producer, which I find interesting. We're going to talk about her in Bop or Flop, but just like quickly, what are your vibes on her? Is this your first introduction to her? Like, because I feel like she has, I don't know, she gives me a you vibe in a certain way.
Wait, when you say Laufey, do you mean Laufey? Because I
Yeah.
read that as Laufey. Oh my God,
Yeah,
how
apparently it's
embarrassing.
pronounced different because it's like Icelandic, and I'm not even sure if my pronunciation on that is right.
I was about to be
So
like,
you're just sitting here being like,
Bop
who
or
the
Flop?
fuck are you talking about?
I was like, who's working with Aaron Dessner? Because who the fuck is Laufey? Okay, I'm back in the room. I didn't realize she was working with Aaron Dessner, but that actually does make a lot of sense when we come to Bop or Flop.
Not on that song. He's not a producer on that.
Perfect. Well, I don't know her name. I don't know who she is, and I don't know what producer she's working with. But I do think that I like her style. I feel like you might not like her style, but I
Yeah.
love Gaga. So I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know. If I was 10 years younger, I feel like Laufey would be one of my top 10 girlies.
I feel like too. It gives me that vibe for you. Like I'll save it for Bop or Flop, what I have to say about
Okay.
her. But anyway, the
Okay.
album's coming. Her first album was pretty huge. She's like the TikTok jazz girl for a whole new generation. It's interesting that this style is working right now. There's so much more to go into, and we will soon. Charli XCX has released the video for Party For You. And has also announced like a new vinyl variant of How I'm Feeling Now. It's just wild to me that this is all happening as we enter the 5-year anniversary. It feels too good to be true. Have you watched the video?
No. Have you?
I have watched the video. It's very cool. It's I don't know, it's kind of like emotional. It feels like this song was like very much the anthem for her fans, and to like have this moment feels like almost a victory lap at the end of what has happened in the past year with Brat. The video is very cool. You should go and watch it, and also go back and listen to yesterday's episode, which was all on How I'm Feeling Now. Not how I was personally feeling, but the Charli album.
How
I'm
you're
feeling
personally
now.
feeling, but we do want to hear how Charles feeling. I actually listened to it, obviously, because I'm a good producer, and I think that the biggest takeaway for me was I feel like that album was saying an ode to like workaholism, and I feel like it wasn't how she was feeling; it was how she was working now. But that's my
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think she's corrected that at all. Like, I think that she views herself very much through her work, which, to be honest, like, so do I. So,
and I respect that in many ways. Yeah,
it's good when it comes to doing a tax return, because if you just live your work, you basically everything's deductible.
That's what Detonate was about. It was about her doing her tax returns.
Yeah. Well, that's how I fucking feel right now. Ravyn Lenae's Love Me Not, which we keep talking about because it keeps reaching new milestones. In the UK, it's at number 2. You guys are doing the best at boosting it over there, but it has reached a new peak of number 18 on the global Spotify charts with almost 3 million streams. Like, this could really be the song of the summer. And I think in London, given that the song at number 1 is Alex Warren's Ordinary, which does not give song of the summer vibes, I think that Love Me Not could be your song of the summer.
I need you right now. Once I leave you, I'm stronger. If I get you, I'm slowly breaking down.
That is quite crazy. You were saying the other day, weren't you, about Song of the Summer and how there's not really a new one, but then why can't we have one that should have had more success and is now getting it?
Definitely. Like, it could be Love Me Not and Party For You, a song that's a year old and a song that's a 5 years old.
That's crazy.
Basically release no new music and just wait for one of your old songs to pop off. It will happen. Just sit tight. I mean, Lorde doesn't have to release a new album. Ribs is doing so well that she could have just been like, oh, we'll wait till next summer. We'll let Ribs burn out.
Well, I feel like Lorde was doing that with Solar Power and it just didn't work. She was like waiting for it to be album of the summer. Like, we'll give it 10 years, apart from us who have taste, obviously.
Actually, give it
The
5
general
years. It could
population.
happen. It's probably almost 5 years
Yeah.
old already. A song that has been really vying for Song of the Summer and a song that we talked about last week on the podcast, Blessings by Calvin Harris and Clementine Douglas, is the biggest gainer on Top Songs Global Spotify, up 74 spots to number 98. So it might actually be happening for Calvin.
Sorry, is 98 not bubbling under?
It's up 74 spots. Like, that's momentum. Don't
thought you were about to be like up 70 spots to like number 19. You said number 98.
It still displays a trend that it's boosting. For this to happen a
Yeah.
week after the release of the actual song, don't you school me on what's a flop and what's not.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway, it could be Song of the Summer. Obviously,
Stay
you feel a
tuned.
little more tepid about it. And
Let's see if it's bubbling under next week or if it's jumped another 74 spots.
give a white man making ADM his flowers, please. Reheating his own nachos, if he even knows what that is. It might be a little too exotic for him. Look, let's go into Bop or Flop. I feel like we're talking about Britain, as it were, a lot on this podcast today because we've got Lola Young as the top in Bop or Flop with her new single One Thing. It's the first song that she's released since Messy has completely blown up and has been a global smash for her.
Break your bed and then the sofa. I wanna pull you close. Everybody wants to know you, but me. I only want one thing.
You can start.
I
Is
was
this
gonna
going to
say
be
you
bubbling
start.
under? Is this okay? I can start if you want.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love Lola Young, love her style, love her vibe, and I'm really into the like Lily Allen of it all at the moment, with all these like pop stars kind of coming for her vibe. Everybody from like Charli XCX, and I think about it all the time. To like even Dua Lipa on like Future Nostalgia, and
Yeah.
but I think the like pop star most primed to do it is Lola Young because she just has that like style so naturally to her. Like I really buy the kind of like what's the word, subconscious sort of just like train of thought lyricism that she brings in there. So I think that it's like kind of sexy while also being funny and also making herself look a little clumsy, like in the bedroom kind of vibe. I really like it. I think it's a really charming song. I know maybe that's a better word to use for LaVey's song, but this for some reason is like trailer park charming to me.
Who the hell's LaVey? Yeah, I think Lola Young is charming. And clumsy is actually a really good word in terms of like her lyricism in a good way. I think it's really done well. I don't know whether, how do I frame this? The song for me personally is a flop, but Lola Young,
Wow.
objectively,
Really?
I think objectively the song is a bop. Like I feel like this could really do well, and like I feel like with the younger audience, for example, I would cling to this. But when I was listening to it twice, I was kind of like I wasn't enthralled. I really like her.
Wow, okay.
I know. I don't really know why. I think I was like waiting for it to be over. But it's interesting because I love her. But it's same with Messi. Like I wasn't a fan of Messi, but I was a fan of her. And like her charisma.
Do you still feel that
and
way
her
about
voice.
Messi?
Yeah, I think it's okay. I never listened to it like on my own accord. It was just
Wow, okay.
from... I know, but that's not... I think this is one of those examples, kind of like what I said about Ed Sheeran a few weeks ago, where I'm like, a different vibe, obviously, but like I can respect this song and like
Yeah.
the artistry behind it, but maybe a flop for me.
Maybe a song will come where it will just click for you and then it will kind of unlock all the other ones too.
Yeah,
because I feel like
probably.
that's kind
hope
of happened
so.
for me with another artist here that we're going to talk about. Certainly not the next artist we're going to
Morgan
talk
Wallen.
about, which is why you were probably so excited for the Lola Young song to end, so you could get onto this one. Usually I refrain from using this man's name, but I feel like given that we are going to talk about this song at large, it's probably easier if I just call him by his first name. I'm not going to say the full name. I don't think he deserves the full Christian name. But Morgan released a new album today. It's about 300 songs long. One of the songs from it is What I Want, and it features Tate McRae.
She said you don't want this heart, ma, it can't be fixed, and I ain't ready to try on a night like this.
More confusing feature on paper than on tape, I think. What do you think?
I agree. I totally agree. I never thought I would say I was relieved to hear Tate McRae's voice on a song. I think
This is why she's done it. She's trying to curry favor by putting it's like buying the nicest home on the worst street, you know.
It's
Like,
kind of
people are always going to
working.
look at your home. Her voice is currently on the worst street.
it's kind of working because I was like, am I being too harsh on her voice? Because it sounds quite good compared to Morgan's.
It sounds
I
really
also-
good. Like
It
I was
does.
when she came in, I was like, even when she starts like harmonizing, if that's what you can call it, at like kind of at the end of his chorus, I'm like, oh, here we go. All right.
If this is, you know, her vocal training or something coming through, then I'm really excited for her. As in, she's a good singer, but like, I've said this on the pod before. I don't personally love her voice. It's too nasally, and that's coming from me. So like, you
Mhm.
know, maybe because it reminds me too much of myself. I do like the melody in this song. Like, I think the melody
So do
is really good, and I think it will probably be a hit, unfortunately. But Morgan's maybe got one of the most annoying voices I've ever heard. I don't understand
So annoying.
how he's that popular. Is he that popular in the UK, or is it just a US thing?
I think it's largely US, but also Australia. He's
Okay.
quite big as well. But yeah, if you look at any of the Spotify charts, he's probably not in the UK one.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
think he could still sell quite like huge venues. But I feel like maybe the UK would go like further, like Noah Khan, Zach Bryan, sort of more folky
Yeah.
way than they would Morgan Wallen, because Morgan Wallen is quite country. I said his full
Yeah.
name. Money in
I
the
to-
money in the swear jar.
No, you were saying the wall. Anyway, couldn't even make a joke out of it. You need to cut this out so you don't embarrass me. The Morgan of it all is terrible. Tate McRae can't save it, even though it's her best vocals ever, and the melody's okay. That's the nicest thing I can say about this song.
It's definitely a flop, but it's the most affection that I've ever felt towards a Morgan song. And it's purely because Tate arrives and I'm like, oh, this is kind of refreshing. And I also weirdly kind of like her on a more like country production, because I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of her work is so compressed and so overproduced that often you lose like some of the texture in her voice on it. And this one I feel differently about, which is confusing. I feel very confused.
Girls
about
are
this
confusing,
song.
but I agree. I think you get the texture because it's softer, whereas in her other songs, it's almost like she's screaming through her nose and it doesn't actually show off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Anyway, enough on this song. Get Me to God's Country, which happens to be LaVey's Tough Luck.
So I propose, it's long overdue. When you go to hell, I'll go there with you too.
Which is
What's the coconut from the bay?
I still don't. I'm gonna check it after this, and you're welcome to like fry us in the comments if you know the real
Please do.
pronunciation. LaVey has released the second single from her album, which we spoke about. You didn't know we were speaking about it, but her new album is called A Matter of Time. This is the second song from it, and I was impressed by the first single, and I'm impressed again. I personally really didn't like the first album. There's this whole like push to conservatism by like Gen Z at the moment, which is really like freaking me out. And like everyone's wearing milkmaid outfits, and like so we've got
they?
like the return of like, yeah, You should see it here. Like it's people are like literally wearing like the Bo Peep kind of hats. I'm serious. You haven't seen that?
I thought it was like Y2K, like Pink Panther style. Was that the UK?
No, that's done. We're like the Y2K revivalists. Like the Gen Z or like the earlier part of Gen Z is like full on.
Oh my god, okay.
Conservatism. Anyway, and I feel like this style is kind of part of that. Like it's going back to that sort of Frank Sinatra, crooner, jazz kind of thing. But there's something really refreshing that's coming through on this track and the last track for me, which is that it feels a little bit more contemporary. It's got a little bit more energy to it. I actually feel like she's a really charismatic vocalist, and I really feel her personality in this. And I feel like there's really something distinctive about her. And while it's not entirely to my own personal taste, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, do your thing. Like I'm liking this. I'm liking this in the same kind of way that I feel like Norah Jones for a moment was really like perfectly straddling the line between like jazz, more like classic styles, and pop melodies. And I feel like this does a similar thing.
Yeah. Nora Straddle Jones was her full name.
She's still alive?
Oh my god, no, she changed her middle name just to Nora. I think
Snora.
Oh no. Snora Smith. I feel like this is good. I feel like the beginning, I don't know, 30 seconds with like her voice with strings. I can't even say her name. I'm gonna have to say her because what if we're completely wrong? Her voice with strings is luscious. It's actually quite crazy, I think, how nice that sounds. And I really want more of that. I really do like how much variety's in the song. She's taking risks and like giving it her all. There are definitely certain parts of the song, I think, for me that suit more than others. Like I don't really like her with like the guitar vibe. I don't think those two mesh well together.
See, that's what I like. I knew this is where we differ.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like you don't like her general style, whereas I was like, I kind of want the general style.
Yeah, exactly. That's where we differ, I think.
But that is interesting because that means the variety works because she's maybe pulling you in with this song, whereas I was already in to begin with.
But then she's losing you a little bit. And like, given how well her other stuff did, like, is this going to lose some people too? I don't know.
Yeah, but I do think it shows off versatility, which is important for an artist's longevity career.
It also shows me that maybe she has like a hit in her, you know? Like I know she's had big streamers and stuff like that, but she hasn't necessarily had her like huge hit yet. And I'm like, well, if she can do this kind of stuff, like potentially she can grab a hit with something like this and then really explore like her traditional styles on the album.
Also, that's true because she could really do a duet in any of the genres she shows on this song.
Yeah, totally. Like I can hear her like on Taylor Swift's Bejeweled, you know, as much as I can hear her covering like Ella Fitzgerald or something.
Well, she's going to be on Gaga's next Tony's Gone, so is Gaga and LaVoy.
God save us. Jumping to a completely different style again. I feel like we're just like all these 4 songs have been so different so far. Kesha's Boy Crazy, the next single off her forthcoming album called Period.
I'm obsessive, my heart's racing, all my boys lately, you're my fixin', you're my...
It follows on from songs like Joyride and the last one called Yippee-Ki-Yay. This one definitely has more of a hyper poppy sound, definitely further back towards the center of what we know traditionally as Kesha work. And it definitely works more for me than Yippee-Ki-Yay. However, I don't think it totally works for me. And I really want to...
Why doesn't it totally work?
I'm just not feeling like it's 100% her, what she's doing right now. And I don't know why, and that might just be more on me than it is on her. But there's something about this that's feeling like a little... I really don't want to make this comparison because no, that's getting into a conversation we don't want to have. But if you can catch my wave, you know where I'm going with this.
I don't catch
I feel
it.
like she's trying to make something that sounds like her previous work, and she's trying hard to be really like kind of like on trend with what's going on the internet at the moment, and it's just not landing for me. But I also loved Gag Order, and I loved like the album before that had Praying on it as well. Well, I think that was 2 albums before. But I basically loved everything she's done post like Warrior and everything, like post the like, I don't know, what would you call it? Like her Imperial era.
Yeah,
I've loved it. And this one's not landing for me. Maybe I just loved that work enough to make me view Kesha as a different artist than what she's giving me right now.
Okay. I'm
What's your
really
feeling?
interested to hear this because this song is the one of this entire week's Pop or Flop that I played the most. I kept going back to it.
Really?
I literally was hooked, and I felt like, unfortunately, opposite to you, Sam, I say unfortunately sarcastically because I love opposing you. This was classic Kesha. It felt more genuine to me than Yippee-Ki-Yay, which I felt was more like trying to chase that nostalgic feeling, whereas this just felt like she was like being, I don't know, being like silly and fun, which is like her brand and like what everyone fell in love with her for. Like brushing my teeth with a bottle of Jack is like the most ridiculous like lyric, and like it's just so stupid it works because you believe it. But I think this is the best song she's released in years, probably since Praying, to be honest. And I think this will be in every
Wow.
gay club for years to come, and I actually am buzzing for that to be there. Whereas Joyride, I'll have a giggle on the dance floor when it comes on in a gay club, but I
Yeah.
won't actually be like going off, and I'll probably be laughing while weeing in the bathroom. My wee will go everywhere up the walls. But I think this is back. I think this is an absolute bop. I think the hyperpop genre really suits her.
Okay. I'm happy to hear this. Like I'm willing to give it other tries. And I feel like I've just been so anti all the songs that have come out so far that maybe I just need to like refresh my palette, you know? Because this one I definitely had the best reaction to of all the new songs. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna give it a chance. I really want her to win. I want this to be a huge era for her.
Same. And I know you do want her to win. Like, I know you really mean that. But also, I think this is her best chance for it. This sounds like probably more of a niche gay bop. That's maybe the difference. You being hetty and me being gay. I'm like, this is a slay. And you're like, it's not hitting it for me. The fine line.
But that's the vibe she's going for, you know? Like, I think that's like, I think she'll come out on top by doing that. Hopefully this resonates with people because the other ones certainly haven't. I mean, Joyride did, but the other two. Okay, again, this is so different. Like, I could have ordered this a little better so it wasn't such whiplash every time. Little Simz Young.
You can be down or be on the other side, but this is my idea of the perfect life.
She has an album coming out in June, I believe. All the singles have been so different. This one's got like a Brit rock vibe to it, which kind of feels like she's doing it with a bit of a wink, like kind of poking fun at the genre, and obviously a genre that's like so misogynistic and has a kind of history of being very run by pretty shitty white dudes. I love hearing her in this vibe. I think it's really fun. I think that like the way that she's rapping is really interesting and different from her. I love how she kind of pulls the hook out of nowhere without trying too hard. I think the production's really cool. I love how she's really tapping into the Britain of it all. Like I'm into this. It's a vibe.
I'm so glad you said that because I was worried that you'd be like, what the hell is this? But I was like, this is a bop. Little Simz is
Because I don't live in London.
London. She's one of the best rappers and live performers I've ever seen, like hands down.
I've never seen her live before, but I've heard that.
Oh, it's crazy. I think I saw her for a gig. Shout out Ali and M who got me onto her. But I saw her at a gig and she was ill, and I found out like a week later that she was ill, and I was like, oh, she is like the like exact same as Doechii. You know, you just see someone, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're locked in. Like you are
Mhm.
here, like give the performance of a lifetime, no matter if it's like a Sunday or at 2 p.m. or whatever, or like
Yeah.
Gaga in the IKEA car park, like you're giving it your all. And that's like a star power. She doesn't miss a beat or a breath. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I agree, this is so fun. I feel like this was like a vocal warm-up she did, and someone was like, why don't you make that into a song? And she was like, yeah, I have. Drop the demo. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it feels so effortless. It's crazy that she's not I mean, she's big in the UK, but she kind of deserves to be big everywhere. She's quite big here, but certainly not at the level that she should be. She's just so
she's like
talented.
she's like Kanye level of talent, but without the talent. Let's not get into that.
Yeah, the Nazi of it all. Okay. Let's move on to Mer, who's announced her. That's Mo. Just so you get the pronunciation of that, so you know who we're talking about. She's released a new album called Playgirl. This is a song from it called Heartbreak.
Life's short, come and give me all the feeling. Show me love, 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 show me love. Heartbreaks right here underneath the ceiling.
What do you think of this?
I think it's a flop. It's just too half-baked. I feel like I was edged and blue-balled the whole time. And I feel like, what does Madonna say? Reductive. It felt a bit reductive from other artists. I think the instrumentals were pretty good, but it doesn't do it for me. And like, Mo is like a good artist, but this song
Yeah.
is just not for me. What do you think?
I felt differently. I thought it was a bop. I liked it. I really liked the, would we say, like drum and bass-esque production that comes in. And I personally like being blue-balled. Like, I think it's really fun when songs like don't really give you the full payoff. Yeah, I think that like she's going back and kind of reclaiming some of her former glory in terms of how successful she was with pairing like electronic sounds with pop melodies. But at the same time, it feels like tougher and a little more primal than what she'd been doing before. I think everything she's kind of been releasing off this album has been quite good. She's like linked back up with a producer that she was working with like way back in like Pilgrim kind of days, called Nick Sylvester. And I think it's cool. Like it's dark and I don't know. I liked it. I don't think I'm gonna like go crazy for it.
Will
but
you
I
listen
did
to it on
like
repeat?
Not on repeat, but I don't have time to listen to all these songs on repeat.
But do you think you listen
I'm
to it
giving it a
again? Because I
bop.
couldn't wait for it to be over.
What? It wasn't that bad. You wanted to go back and play Morgan and Tate.
Maybe over this song.
Our Dolly and Kenny Rogers.
Oh my god. Not Dolly McRae.
I'm giving it a bop. Let's move on to Qisha. Chloe is a new artist who's been releasing like lots of bops recently, I feel like. This new one's called The Boys, and it's off a new EP, which I need to get the name of. It's called Modern Romance.
The boys, they keep calling, and I'll wait, but you never call me. You're lost inside my head, and this torture I want, yeah.
It's one of 2 new songs on that EP that she hasn't already dropped. And the reason that I like what she's doing is that it's definitely got like a certain Jack Antonoff, like Swiftian quality to it, but the lyrics are like really provocative and really edgy, and she comes across as being really cool and really bold as well. And that's why I think it takes it from being what could otherwise be perceived as a pretty like straight down the line, like very 2013, 14 pop song to being something that I do want to listen to and an artist that like I do want to invest my time in.
I'd never heard of her before, and I was a bit embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, am I so behind the curve? Because I think she has almost 1 million monthly Spotify listeners.
Yeah,
So
she's
like,
gaining quite quickly.
yeah, so she's not small. The first listen I had to this song, I was like, it's pretty good. Definitely got the Swift vibe, like could be a 1989 kind of like album track. But then when I looked into the EP and listened to it, it missed a bit of the drama for me where I wanted to like listen again, basically. Then I
Yeah.
listened to the EP and I was like, oh no, the EP has all of the drama and this fits so well on the EP. And I now can't wait to listen to the EP again. So this
I'm
maybe isn't
glad.
like a single song for me, but I'm so glad that it basically introduced me to this EP and artist because she also, the cover art I thought was a shot out of Vogue. Genuinely, I
Yeah,
was like, this
it's
is
so good.
her.
All of her art's been so good. That's why I feel like she's got the
Crazy.
direction and the aesthetic and like just everything feels so polished and so unique to her that I'm like, oh, this is somebody who has like a bit of steam to me.
Yeah. And like the other songs on the album really, the EP really got me
So good.
the drop
Yeah.
fix.
Yeah, really cool. Okay, I'm glad we both bop on that. This is where we've aligned this week.
Finally.
Okay, final one is Noah Cyrus with a song called I Saw the Mountains.
When you feel alone in the dark, yeah, I am wherever you are.
Noah is kind of really in her folk bag and has been for a couple years now. And I just think she keeps like churning out songs that are just like way better than I think she gets credit for and that anybody like she's really good. And I just don't think like people are talking about it enough, like post like July, which obviously did incredibly well for her. And I just freaking love that song July. Like I think that it's so good. And this one, again, I'm not like, this is not going to be something that I'm going to listen to like hundreds of times this year, but it's something that I'll play like every now and then when it comes up and I'll be like, yeah, like she can write, she can sing, like good on her.
Yeah, she gets the atmosphere. Like I knew exactly where I was listening to this song. I was in the Amalfi Coast on a bus. They were driving like crazy and I was looking out the window listening to it at the ocean being like, everything's fine, just look out at the views, like try to have that moment. Like I just
So unrelaxing.
yeah, but like the song was taking me to the relaxing point. Like it was like Headspace, Antiques, Rainy Day or whatever. It just was like exactly the vision. I got it straight away. And I think you're right. Her voice and the production's amazing. So underrated.
Production
actually.
is amazing. Great. So that's a bop for Noah Cyrus to finish it off. If you are listening to this and we haven't inserted a new Rihanna song, it's because it hasn't come out in time for this podcast. But Rihanna is releasing a new song called Friend of Mine for the Smurfs soundtrack. Usually I would not give this song a second thought, given that she has done some ridiculous things on soundtracks in the past. But I heard the clip and it sounds good, so I'm excited.
Also, that is such a lie, Sam. You are Rihanna Navy stan. You would give any song a second listen or chance.
No, not everything. I mean, you're going to bring up a song soon that Rihanna has a song on the same soundtrack for that is, I couldn't even have like sung one word from it. And also Lift Me Up from the Black Panther, which I accidentally called the Pink Panther in a video the other day. I've been listening to too much Pink Panther-esque.
Not Pink Panther Reloaded.
Can't even remember where I was going with this, but anyway, we'll wait and see what that song is like. But let's get into throwback bop or flop for this week. Who are you vibing to go first, based on the lineup we've got? Oh, well, I feel like I should go first based off who we were just talking about.
Just said, yeah.
My throwback bop or flop for this week is Rihanna, who we were just talking about. And the song that I'm going with is Push Up On Me from Good Girl Gone Bad.
The way that you stare starts a fire in me. Come up to my room, you're sexy little day.
Good Girl Gone Bad is a pop classic. I think we can all agree. But Push Up On Me is one of the few songs from the album that hasn't will never had a moment actually. And I just think this song is just so slick and so sexy and so cool. And I love that kind of like, I guess it's 80s flavor beat that comes on, but it feels like a stove bubbling, like her voice just slides over it. And I remember hearing this song for the first time and being like, this girl is cool as fuck. Like the way that she can just body a song like that is so incredible. She is the coolest artist on earth. And this song is just so underrated by her. So that's my spiel on Push Up On Me. Oh no.
I'm waiting to dramatic pause. No, I really like it. I think the biggest thing is...
Thought you were going to get me back for glam.
I know. But she sells it. So the instrumental is not from... I don't think it stood the test of time. I actually think if
Really?
I think for any other artist over that, it probably wouldn't work as well. But Rihanna has
Maybe.
that Madonna vibe where she's the best saleswoman on earth. And I believe everything she's saying. And the way she sings over it, she like does both, where she does like exactly what the melody needs to do, and then has like the extra bits that you're like, oh, you're pushing this even further. So I don't think this would be a bop for many other artists, but Rihanna or Madonna or like, you know, someone like Gaga, Beyonce who can sell anything it's a bop. But the beat has not stood the test of time for me.
Really? I really feel like it has. Maybe it's because I've been thinking about like what Doja Cat's going to do next a lot recently. And it kind of gives me that vibe. But I know you've got gripes with Doja Cat. So.
No, I was going to say Doja could sell that beat because she has personality and charisma. But think about any other artist. Ava Max couldn't sell that beat.
Oh, no. Please. Tate McRae, however... Our new country star Dolly McRae would be all over that, I think.
Dolly McRae and Morgan Rogers will be doing a duo to that song. Duet.
All right, give me yours.
Okay, I'm gonna give you bit. Woo! My God, I couldn't even do it.
Got it.
Charli XCX, Red Balloon.
If you got troubles, let him go. Let him soar so high, high into the sky, just like a red balloon.
This is in honor of your
This is
episode.
a deep cut.
It's a deep cut. You did How I'm Feeling Now, and I loved How I'm Feeling Now, but I wanted to go deeper in Charli, and also something that I thought lots of people think this song's a massive flop, including probably you. I don't actually know, but don't give anything away. But lots of people thought it was crap. I feel like she just goes for the cheese on this song and goes for like a big pop bop. And I'm buying into it. If I was a sip of a wine down as I am now, I would be top roof down, screaming it with my friends, giggling, like feeling like I'm in a movie scene. So my voice has gone 10 octaves louder because I'm literally
That excited. I can feel it. It's
about
palpable.
Red Balloon by Charli. Probably a song that she loads and which she never recorded.
Oh,
But
she absolutely loads it, of course. But you've just described the like sucker era in general, I think. Like that's either you like that or you don't like it. Like there's no in between.
Yeah.
That era is full of cheese. Like some of the lyrics are so straightforward and so on the nose. And this is exactly what this song is. I'm a sucker apologist. So I'm right there with you on Red Balloon. Like it's dumb and it's like very like coming of age movie. Like very just like, I don't know. It feels nostalgic and it feels cheap. And I kind of love that about it because I feel like so many of the songs off Sucker feel like that. Famous feels so much like that. Doing It feels so much like it as well. This one almost feels like it finds a middle ground between that and like Break the Rules, which is like such a ridiculously simple, like terrible Josie and the Pussycat song. But like for some reason, just I like it. So I'm bopping this as well. I agree with you.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. I was really worried that you'd flop it, but your taste has pulled through.
It was on the soundtrack for a pretty, well, actually, I haven't seen the movie. I'm not sure if people are a fan of this movie, but it was called Home. And the movie had 2 Rihanna songs on it, and they were quite terrible, I think. So Red Balloon was
What were
carrying
they?
that soundtrack, clearly. Like a song called, like, Something in the Dark, doing something in the dark and something else. You literally wouldn't know them.
Also, what even is the movie Home? Am I meant to know that movie? I've never
have
heard
no
of it.
idea. I have no idea. The only reason I found it was because I searched Red Balloon when you told me this was going to be yours, and it came up. And I remember from the time that Rihanna was releasing songs for that, but I don't remember anything more other than that,
Okay.
which is so funny. Anyway, do you know also Rihanna is the 3rd most streamed artist on Spotify right now?
I'm
She
not
hasn't released
surprised.
anything like since 2016. It's insane.
She's been top 10 for the last 9 years, I think, in terms of streams. Like, it doesn't. Although she did, to be fair, release an album. Like, she's on up to R9. Like, Gaga's not up to that. Katie's not. Katy Perry's not up to that. Like, lots of people aren't up to R9. So, like,
Yeah, she released
gave
very
us-
consistently in those years. Yeah.
She gave
But
us a bank.
These hits are still like lasting. Like they're still streaming insane. She is like the hit pop star of our generation. Like nobody has hits like Rihanna. Not a
I think
single
she
person
is-
touches her.
I think she's the Madonna of our generation, hands down. And I stand by that.
Yeah, I think the only reason that I don't feel entirely that way is because I don't think she released a good album up until Anti, like as a whole. Like Madonna has so many that are so cohesive and like fit together as a whole package, like a Prayer and Bedtime Stories and Ray of Light, even Confessions.
Not Bedtime
like,
Stories. It's terrible.
what's the other one? No, the other one that's like that, Erotica.
Erotica's good. Erotica is good.
Yeah, I thought you told me to listen to Bedtime Stories.
No, I hated it. I think I told you to listen to Erotica.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's the only reason I see that kind of differently because she's never been like a albums artist. But I do get where you're going in terms of like she's just got so many hits.
But I think Auntie is her ray of light, and then she's got so much more to come. Like she's got her Confessions in the future. Like she's just at the point.
Please, can you imagine?
Yeah, I reckon she actually does. She's just at the stage of her career where she's releasing Ray of Light, which was younger than Madonna was when she released it.
Well, that means we've still got her. What's the terrible Madonna album that comes after?
Music.
Ray of
And
Light. No,
the
music's
Spanish
good.
one.
American Girl or whatever that
Also,
album is.
X, one of the worst albums I've ever heard.
I kind of like X. I think Crave is such a good song. Anyway, this is trailing off into like such
This is
a
all
longer
going to get cut because
episode.
it's literally nothing to do with
Taking this
anything.
into the longest episode ever. If you like episodes like this, if you like long episodes with nonsense at the end, please subscribe to the Pop Pod. Make sure you rate it 5 stars wherever you're listening to this, apart from on YouTube where you can't. But anywhere else, it really helps with the visibility for the podcast. Also, if you want to come talk nonsense with us, drop into our Discord. I will drop the link for that down below in the show notes so you can come and join. Other than that, have a good weekend. I hope the Rihanna song slaps and keep streaming Morgan and Tate.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.